Hello friends of TV Agro. We are here at the Guadualito farm in San Juan de Arama, in the Guayabitas village in the department of Meta. We would like to show you the entire process of cultivation of the Technified banana crop that we handle for the agribusiness. As in corn, in banana we also have 7 wonders of yield. In banana we have 7 wonders of success indicator. We handle the most important items here. For us, it is essential to identify good soils for banana cultivation, which should possibly be loamy soils. That is indispensable, that they have good access roads, that they have water, because plantain is a very demanding crop in water. We must make sure that when we have a lot for plantain, we have availability of water, that they have good access roads, that they are loamy soils, and that they have good barriers, that is, that the lots have good barriers against winds, since plantain is susceptible to be overturned by the wind. The second marvel of success in Technified banana is seed selection. Here we make more or less F1 lots until we reach elite lots. That is, we select the best plants we have, we mark them, and we continuously obtain better quality seeds to reduce losses during planting. In addition to seed selection, we also carry out seed disinfection. Then, the second marvel of yield and success in the Technified banana is the seed and the soil. That is, we have 2. The third is the adequate fertilization. With a soil analysis, with the advice of an agronomist, and a correct use of fertilizers in applications according to the phenological stages of the plant, as well as the start, the vegetative, and the reproduction stage and the harvest stage. The good use of fertilizers. We are now in a transition. Now that we are going to bring the plant to our region, which we are building, we will have the opportunity to see it later. We want to take the residues out of the process to make compost and reduce costs in terms of fertilization. Now that we are at a global juncture on the subject of fertilizers, especially in Colombia, so we are working on that. So we are really going into soils, seed, and fertilizer. The fourth one has to do especially with human talent. We are constantly identifying human talent in the people who help us. So we are constantly evaluating our team so that we can highlight them as examples and so we can train others, thus multiplying the good experiences we have had. Therefore, the selection and training of personnel, as well as making people aware of why they have to do things correctly. And that is why, as I mentioned before, we have designed a blockchain-style model in which each segment tries to improve as a partner, seeking to improve human talent, which would be the fourth wonder of performance and success in banana growing. The fifth wonder is related to climate, which is a factor in which we do not intervene. We do not intervene because it is something we have to deal with, because each time the climate change, winters and summers are more and more intense. From there is where the sixth wonder of success and yield in banana cultivation comes in, which is based on the adequacy of the land. There we participate in this aspect by having well-drained lots and adequate irrigation systems to reduce the impact of winter and reduce the impact of summer with irrigation. If you wish, you can join us, and we will see the process by process of each of our steps. So I invite you to join me in the cultivation. As I was telling you, the first process is a selection of the land. Here we located a piece of the land in the Guadualito farm in the Guayabitas trail. We have a summer pipe in the back and a lot with good drainage that can be prepared very well. It is a clay loam soil. At this point, we are going to explain how we take or select the seed to multiply it in our lots. What is the ideal way? Well, the ideal way we do it is first. We observe the plant, that it is a healthy plant, that it is a plant that stands out in yield over the others. After that, we evaluate the fruit it has produced, making sure it has very good fingers, that its length is of quality to obtain a good production. It is important that it is a very healthy plant in all aspects. Subsequently, we focus on the selection of the hill. It is important to choose a hill that is not a sibling of the plant, but is the offspring of the plant in question. If we take a hill that is, when our collaborators, who are the experts in this area, evaluate the size of the hill, they see that its color symbolizes maturity, because if we select a beige hill, we call it beige. I don't know how they call it in other regions. If it's too sunny, the hill tends to dehydrate quickly, preventing it from developing well. It could even die easily. That's why we try to select hills that are well formed and mature to be able to pull them up. At this time, our collaborator Dubel will perform the procedure of pulling up the cabbage so that you can observe how we select the seed and how we prepare it. Here we are removing the soil and the rootlets that bring the hill. We fix it and we cut it to a distance of approximately 10 to 15 centimeters. Then we leave it ready to take it to a disinfection tank. We pile it up on the streets and then we pick it up with a machine to take it to the disinfection area, which is done in a tank, where we use products to disinfect it and at the same time to control pests such as the weevil, nematodes and other pests such as the cochineal syphilids, as well as bacteria and fungi. That is what we do. That is the way we select the seed. Here we go with the process of de-stemming and bagging. The de-stemming is done to leave less bananas in the bunch and look for a greater earliness and size in the fruit. After that, we leave an indicator finger. These fingers, when the fruit is ready to harvest, will give us the thickness we need to harvest the fruit. Then we move on to the bagging process, where we create a microclimate inside the cluster that is ideal for it to gain more weight and earliness, so that the harvest will be faster. That is what we do. In this process, we are going to show you how and why we do leaf removal, weeding and tying up the plants. We do the defoliation to avoid the competition of nutrient absorption of these committees that are the children of the plant that are being born. What we are doing here is called a descalate. We do it even here. We do it in the drier part of the plant. We do not do it in the wet part to avoid that the plant wears out or gets stressed or even dehydrated, especially during the summer season. So we can only cut the part that is already completely dry. We do the trimming to counteract the pressure of sigatoka in the crop. That is really why we do it. Now we are also going to see how we tie up the plants. Why do we tie up the plants? To avoid the wind or the breeze during the summer, which is very strong, so that this material that we have here, which the bunches are quite heavy, the plants can tip over or fall. So what we do is to tie them to avoid the plants from falling. We do it with 2 kabuyas. We identify that the correct thing to do is to do it with 2 kabuyas. The breeze varies in directions. Sometimes it is from north to south or from south to north. Normally the breeze comes from the northeast to the southeast, so we try to tie them in that direction. Even the plant tells us in which direction the acorn throws the acorn and where it throws the acorn. What we do is to hold the plant to the opposite side so that when the acorn grows and gives strength to the plant, it does not knock it down. That is why we do the tying. At this moment, our collaborator, Mr. Ernesto, is going to tie up this plant as we do here. Here we proceed to tie this plant. What we do is to take the raki of the acorn so that it holds well and does not slip. Then the operator goes down and measures how much distance there is from the plant to be able to cut the kabuya. We do this to prevent the kabuya from climbing up and always maintain the same height. There we tie a loose knot. Then we take out the other end and throw it towards the other plant, the one we see here. This is the way we tie the plants in our farm. Here you can see how the plant is protected if the wind comes this way or goes that way. The plant will not fall anywhere. The plant has two supports so that it does not fall. That is what we do, and that is the way we tie it. Here we are in the area of disinfection of the seed, or plantain hill, before taking it to the place where it will be planted. We make a mixture of some microorganisms and some products that will control weevils, nematodes, mealybugs, and diseases such as Erwinia and Moko, or Ralstonia solitarium, which is the scientific name of the disease. Both are bacteria. We do the disinfection. We add the hills to this tub with the applied products. We submerge them for 5 minutes. After the 5 minutes pass, we proceed to place them in the vehicle so that the hills are taken to the place where they will be planted. This is basically what we do. Now we arrive at the lot with a loaded car and we start watering the hills on the place where we previously made the holes and where we are going to place the hill. They water it. Other collaborators go behind. They place the hills vertically on the holes. Then other collaborators come with a shovel and add soil so that it does not go to the sides. At that moment, we put a compost with lime and compost, and then we cover the hills so that in 20 days we have a homogeneous emergence. We try to keep all the big hills in one place, and we select the small hills to be in another place so that the big hills emerge faster than the others and do not leave the small ones behind when they are in the middle. That is basically what we do so that we have a homogeneous crop and we do not have very uneven plants.
Hemos llegado al final del programa, espero les haya gustado y les haya enriquecido mucho el contenido. Espero que puedan aplicar todas estas técnicas que aprendieron hoy acá en sus cultivos tecnificados de plátano.
See you next time.